Kylie and Michael, welcome to the beginning of the design process. Looking at your back garden here, we talked about 3 different options for you for where this swimming pool can go. And so this is what I've done. I've presented you 3 ideas. They're all a bit of a work in progress, and they all have pros and cons to them. The existing foliage, that sewer pipe obviously, and just how the spaces are left after we go and put this pool in. Looking down overhead on your property, you obviously got the flats next door, which we want to keep that bamboo in place. You've got some beautiful trees, and there's gum tree close to the deck here. And you've got bamboo growing along the fence, and then you've got that beautiful fire pit seating area, which I'm trying to take into account all of those things. So the further space in the corner was one that we looked at. Then we thought about maybe the one in between the decking and this little return wall here, and then finally we thought about maybe we could just do something off the decking there and see what the merits of that would be. So that's what I've done. I've taken you through a little bit of a design journey, show you a couple of different options, pros and cons. So this first one, what I tried to do is bring this pool up to deck height. Now I've got to say, I don't like this, and I abandoned it, and I didn't put any effort into it. This is where I got to trying. I have since redrawn this. I've put it back down at ground level. It works a little bit better, and I'll show you that live. But I was trying to get this one to be like a spillover edge. But at the end of the day, we've got that trapdoor, we've got plumbing, we've got all sorts of things going into the house there. There wasn't much space inside the pool fence, and really the size of the pool was small. And when I tried to bring it out further into the garden, it just kind of cut the garden off, and it really didn't work well. So I'm giving you this one first because it's just a throwaway concept. We can talk about it another time though. The next option is the one closest to what you guys were talking about. I've left the bamboo in place. I've put in a screen in behind the bamboo. You can see that it obviously is built level, comes off just one step down from that room. I've got a pathway around to the side. We've got to make sure that the pool fencing is all compliant, so it's a combination of 1.2 metre height glass. I've got some vertical timbers, and then 1.8 metre batten screening behind the day beds. I've got a little bit of planting in front, some steps, some little round pads that take us around to where the existing sheds are, and so that we can still use them and utilize them. We've got to put the pool equipment somewhere. That's a great spot to put that. And so this is looking nice. Obviously, underneath the trees comes with pros and cons, with leaves getting in the pool, but beautiful shade. I've got 3 meters between the pool and the screen behind the day beds, and the space works quite well. A lot of the leaf litter from the bamboo will simply fall in behind the screen. Some of it's going to go in the pool. But it's looking quite good, and obviously frees up the rest of the lawn and the rest of the garden bed, the garden space for you to do other activities. Obviously the veggie plot has to move, but that's okay. So this is an 8 by 4 meter pool. Typical depths go from 1.2 to 1.8. Step configuration, swim out benches, all those shallow ends, all those things can come later. Really what I'm trying to do at this point in the design process is just see how all the spaces are going to work, and how well they connect, and what the spaces, what are the leftover spaces, or also just as importantly. And then thirdly, we talked about can we just put the pool on the end of the deck. So I've had a few attempts at this one. This one is over 10 meters long. You can see I've added a spa here. I've taken out some of your step space, which I think is okay. That red stripe around the base that you can see there, that's 1.2 meters in height. So that means we can use the pool shell as our pool fence, providing that there's no things within what we describe as a non-climbable zone. Then I've got this big skillioned shade structure that I'm just playing around with some different supports. You can see some supports coming outside of the pool shell here at an angle. I was just going for a little bit funky. And what this does is it allows us to have dining space, lounging space, which I think is really important around a pool, and good connectivity back with the fire pit. Now, obviously, got to work out a way to get down here. My first thoughts were that we would just come straight down with the stairs at the end, but I simply don't think you have room. So you'll see in a second I've got an option where the stairs start further around the corner, and because you're going to lose that path is obviously gone. So it's not bad, and I'll talk to you about a few pros and cons with it. Then I went and did this shaped pool. I pushed it really out to close to the boundary. I've got about a meter's worth of paving there, which I thought would get that sewer line to run underneath that cavity there. And then you can see around the corner here, I've just shifted the stairs around a bit so that we can, come down and utilize that fire pit, which I think is really nice. It's good connectivity. It's quite tight, the space between the pool fence and getting some lounge furniture underneath this shade structure. So I thought it'd be a nice idea to create a little bit of an outdoor kitchen and cooking area around the side here, just so that we can utilize it more. And then on this final one, I've kept the pool. I've actually pushed it down into the lawn a bit further, if you want the spa or not. Still this wedge-shaped pool, but now what I've done is I've given you a little bit of decking and space on the other side of the pool, so we can actually build a screen up to 3.2 meters in height along a boundary for 10 meters in length. So that's what I've done. It's 1.8 meters on the inside, which is pool fence compliant. And now I've still got this wedge-shaped pool coming into the deck, and it's obviously got some kooky angles happening, but that's just the nature of the shape of your block there. So this is something that can be developed. So I've given you a couple of ideas to think about. The next thing to do is to have a look at these just in a live Zoom meeting and go over this a little bit more slowly. But have a look at the drawings and let me know what your thoughts are, and if there's anything that you like. Obviously the costs are going to be something to consider, and access through the space and those leftover spaces. What are you going to do with the remaining spaces? So have a think and come back to me with your thoughts, and we'll simply just progress the design until we come up with something that we're happy with.